The travel, when it comes to domestic front, is way above the pre-COVID level. So the recovery, like in many other markets in India, has been driven by the domestic travel. And this is going to keep increasing because the number of airports in India are going to more than double in the next 5 years. That's the government spend going into the infrastructure. So all in all, I think we are very much poised for seeing increase in air traffic. Now, when it comes to foreign tourist arrivals, it is still lagging behind if we adjust it for the G20, which India hosted last year. But the sector remains very cautiously, I would say, optimistic that as of October, November, we will start getting back to the pre-COVID levels of the foreign tourist arrivals.
And if that's the case, then what does that mean for your business, especially in terms of average room revenue, ARR, and also occupancy levels?
Well, occupancies that we are experiencing are very high. The domestic travelers are paying very good rates. However, when we look at our USP, that is our competitive advantage, is running those authentic palaces in the world. I think that's where we need the high spending foreign tourists coming in. And be it our palace in Jaipur or in Udaipur or in Jodhpur or Hyderabad, these are something, a product which is very unique. It just does not exist anywhere else in the world. The real palaces of the Maharajas. So I think we will do very well if that segment starts coming back in the way it was at the pre-COVID.
Puneet, your company just releasing first quarter financials ending June 30th, showing great growth momentum in your portfolios. You now have about 325 hotels, 16 signings, 6 openings in this past quarter alone. Can you tell us where you're seeing the most growth? What level of traveler is this?
So firstly, I think this was a good quarter, keeping into account that every 5 years when there is elections, there is a dip in the business. The international delegations don't come in. Everybody waits for the outcome of the elections. There is a code of conduct that is put in. There was extreme heat this year, and there was no one-off like the G20 last year. So keeping all that into account, I think showing a growth was a positive. But what is happening is that has created pent-up demand for the second quarter. And what we saw in the first 17, 18 days of July was like a 20% increase over July of last year. So that's one. Second, when it comes to growth, to your question, our focus remains on the Indian subcontinent for all our brands. And except for Taj, we'll keep growing Taj selectively in key gateway markets of the world. And we are looking forward to opening at least 2 or 3 hotels in the international arena this year, the same next year, including a trophy asset in Frankfurt, Germany. And that is our strategy. We don't want to go international with all our brands, but just the Taj brand. And I don't know if you know this, Brand Finance rated for the 3rd time Taj is the strongest hotel brand of the world and strongest brand in India across all sectors.